чтобы обеспечить безопасные условия для проведения референдумов, для того, чтобы люди могли выразить свою волю. И то решение о своем будущем, которое примет большинство жителей Донецкой и Луганской народных республик, Запорожской и Херсонской областей, мы поддержим. В своей агрессивной антироссийской политике Запад перешел всякую грань. Мы постоянно слышим угрозы в адрес нашей страны, нашего народа. Некоторые безответственные политики на Западе не только говорят о планах по организации поставок в Украине дальнобойных наступательных вооружений, систем, которые позволят наносить удары по Крыму, другим регионам России. Такие террористические удары, в том числе с использованием западного оружия, уже наносятся по приграничным населенным пунктам Белгородской и Курской областей. В ход пошел и ядерный шантаж. Речь идет не только о поощряемых Западом обстрелах Запорожской атомной электростанции, что грозит атомной катастрофой, но и о высказываниях некоторых высокопоставленных представителей ведущих государств НАТО о возможности и допустимости применения против России оружия массового поражения, ядерного оружия. Тем, кто позволяет себе такие заявления в отношении России, хочу напомнить, что наша страна также располагает различными средствами поражения, а по отдельным компонентам и более современными, чем у стран НАТО. И при угрозе территориальной целостности нашей страны для защиты России и нашего народа мы, безусловно, используем все имеющиеся в нашем распоряжении средства. Это не блеф. А те, кто пытаются шантажировать нас ядерным оружием, должны знать, что роза ветров может развернуться и в...
Shalom. I want to start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Manatazak with GMS Ancient of Days in Los Angeles, currently teaching with the Small Sanctuary in Inglewood, and today through the Spirit I want to get into a lesson that's titled World War III Will Happen. And it will happen in our lifetime. Okay, now this lesson was inspired through the Spirit by Putin publicly going on national news and stating that he's not bluffing when it comes to nuclear warfare if Russia continues to be threatened by the West. Okay, now pursuant to prophecy, the scriptures are very prominent in Russia's role in the end time prophecies. Okay. So that's how we know we can gauge the time that we're in, because the tensions are very high right now. Okay, there was a media outlet that came out, some time ago, saying that had this been any other time in history, America would already be at war with Russia. Okay, but we know pursuant to prophecy that this Third World War, which is also mentioned in the scriptures, okay, will not take place until all the elect are sealed. And the fact that these tensions are continuing to increase, production on nuclear arms is continuing to ramp up, we can tell what time we're in. Okay? And we are in the time of the end. Now, the Kremlin just issued out a propaganda video, and they use some images from the nuclear destruction in movies shown here in the States. But what they shown in their presentation, and I added it in the post-production, which you saw in the beginning of the video, what their Satan II missile is capable of doing. And they showed that in the animation. Now, that's just one missile. And if you can see, it had almost 20 warheads in that one missile. And that's just what they're showing and revealing to the public. You heard Putin in the opening statement of this video saying that he has weapons that even NATO isn't aware of. Okay? And it would make sense for him to say something like that. Why would you put out detailed information on your best weaponry? Okay? Of course you would keep things hidden and keep things secret. But the weapon that he showed was capable of destroying all of the East Coast, pretty much. Okay? Several years back when they brought out that animation video of what the Satan could do, okay, it said that one Satan missile could destroy the whole state of Texas. Okay? So we are definitely in the times of war. Now I want to begin through the Spirit in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. And the headline reads, Yahushua tells about the future. But I want to start in verse 36. And that headline reads, no one knows when Yahushua will return. Okay, and this is red letter. It says, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noe were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noe entered into the ark. Okay, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay, so this is a very specific warning that Yahushua is giving us, okay, about his eventual return. It will be just like the days of Noah, okay? And are we not likened unto Noah out on the highways and hedges in the midst of our people, prophesying and warning? Yet the majority of our people are not taking heed to the message. Okay, it's going to be exactly the same before Yahushua returns. We're going to be out prophesying, beckoning our people to get ready, but the majority of our people are not listening. The majority of our people aren't privy to the threats being made by Russia. The majority of our people aren't privy to the ongoing war in Ukraine. The majority of our people aren't interested in the fact that UFOs are being declassified. Well, now they're called UAPs, but we know them as the chariots of the Lord. That's major news. Something that they have been trying to keep hidden from the public. They are not just now coming out and admitting, okay, that they actually exist. And we've known that. Okay, but even still, the majority of our people remain asleep. Okay, now when I say the majority of our people, who I'm referring to are the so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans. Okay, because we are the true children of Israel, according to the scriptures and pursuant to prophecy. Most specifically, pursuant to the curses that fell upon us as a sign and a wonder. All right. Let's get Revelations 11 and 4. Revelations verse 11 and 4. Is it 11? 14. Revelations 11 and 14. Salaki. Okay. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Now, this is a direct precept to Isaiah 9 and 5. But it's interesting. It says the second woe is past. Now, woe in the scriptures means destruction. That second destruction is referring to World War II. Okay? And the scriptures are telling you that the third woe cometh quickly. World War III is going to come quickly after. Okay, let's get Isaiah 9 and 5 just to prove that point and to show you how all the prophets saw the same thing and spoke the same thing. Okay? Let's see. This is Isaiah 9 and 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. Okay? So that's how ancient battles were fought, right? You think of movies like Gladiator, Troy, 300. Okay, this is what it's talking about. Every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. So they have their garments on with their armor, swords and shields clashing. You got the agony of torn limbs and sliced flesh, blood everywhere. People screaming and moaning on the battlefield. That's how it was in the ancient world. Okay, it says, but this battle that's coming up, it says, this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Okay, this next great battle that's prophesied to take place, World War III, is going to be with burning and fuel of fire. Okay, and let's get let's get Job 20. I want to get this precept first through the Spirit. Job 20, beginning at verse 24. The book of Job, chapter 20. Job 20, let's see. I'll begin at verse 19. Okay, and this is a prophecy against Esau, Edom. This is Job 20, beginning at verse 19. It says, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he buildeth not, surely he shall not fill quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. And that's talking about all these atrocities that Esau Edom have done. Okay, he doesn't consider his latter end. The scriptures say that that thou thoughtest I was one likened unto thyself. Because of all the things that they have done, since judgment hasn't come down on them, they think that the Most High is with them. Okay, but they didn't realize that manifest destiny is a double-edged sword. And there's a recompense for what they've done to the children of Israel. Okay. It says, continuing on, verse 21 says, there shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. It says, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Now this is talking about Israel. Okay? Coming against Esau Edom. There will be a civil war here, more or less, in these states. You got the migrant crisis. You got Jake getting roused up. Okay? People are starting to feel the squeeze. And it's only just begun. Okay? It's only just begun. These are the things that are mentioned in the scriptures that we're trying to warn you to get right now. Because when it gets rough, when it gets heavy, okay, you're going to wish that you took heed to the message so that you would be covered by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because we are going to be in the midst of all this utter chaos. But Lord willing, the Lord keeps us doing this work in truth and sincerity, because the majority of our people they're going to suffer out here. Before death finally finds them, they are going to suffer. It is going to be terrible. The scriptures explain it as a time like never before. And it even gets specific to call it the time of Jacob's trouble. Jacob, the Israelites. So this is a time that's going to be specifically hard for our nation of people. Okay, so you would have to be crazy not to take heed to this warning. Okay? Verse 23, it says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Alright, so even though Esau Edom is in a position where he seems to be in control, okay, the Most High has him in a trick bag. Okay, right when he thinks that he's about to fulfill his ultimate plan, the Most High is going to rain down on him. Okay. It says, verse 24, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Okay, this is parabolic talk for the nuclear missiles. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. That bow of steel is talking about the nuclear missile. Okay, it says, it is drawn and cometh out of the body. Okay, out of that nuclear silo. Okay. The glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. Okay? This is that missile being fired from that silo and shooting off towards its designated target. Okay? This is the best way that the prophets of old could describe it, by using terms that they were familiar with. Glittering sword, glittering spear, arrows. Okay? Now the prophets are back in their lot, breaking down in its completion No, this is talking about a nuclear missile coming out of a silo that's going to bring great destruction. Okay? It says, all darkness shall be hid in the secret places. It says, a fire not blown shall consume him. A fire not blown, okay, shall consume him. Parabolic once again for the nuclear missiles and this atomic fire, nuclear fire that's going to consume this place. Okay? It says, it shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. It says, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. And that's what's taking place now. Okay? This is talking about the internet. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. That's why they're talking about getting rid of TikTok, because of all the information coming out. Pretty soon, sites like YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, they're going to go with it. Okay? We are in the time of a mass censorship, which, pursuing the prophecy, is the famine of the word. Okay? The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High. So this judgment is being appointed to the wicked, which is Esau, Edom. But 2/3 of our people are going to catch that same judgment because they are not taking heed to the message. They are not taking heed to the warning. Okay? Let's get Ezekiel 38. Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, which goes into the destruction of Gog. And we know modern day Gog and Magog is Russia. Okay? It says, and the word of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against them. Okay, now we know Gog and Magog is speaking about modern day Russia. Okay, Meshech and Tubal is speaking about Turkey. Okay, which Russia and Turkey are allied. It says, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shemashai power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords. This is speaking about that vast Russian army. Okay, the Lord's saying he's going to put hooks in their jaws and turn them back to that old Soviet spirit, that USSR spirit during the Cold War. Okay? This is what the scriptures are talking about. This is the spirit that Putin, okay, and his associates are in. Okay? They want to have war with the West. And they will have war with the West. And the scriptures speak about it. Continuing on in verse 5, it says, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Okay, now we know the Persians are speaking about the Iranians, who are allies with Russia. Ethiopia is speaking about Ethiopia, of course, who's allies with Russia. Libya is speaking about North Africa, who are allies with Russia. And if you notice, most of these nations are formally now joined onto the BRICS nations, okay, which is a conglomerate of countries who have decided to cast off the FRN as their working monetary system, instead form a monetary system of their own, which in of itself is a direct act of war. Okay? So all these prophecies are coming to pass right before our very eyes. And the prophets are the ones that are warning you about it. Okay? Verse 6, it says, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all of his bands, and many people with thee. Further going into the allies of Russia, specifically, this is talking about Turkey, once again, okay, Gomer and Togarmah. It says, verse 7, Be thou prepared, and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled, and unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Okay, so Russia is a guard unto all these nations. They look unto Russia to lead this charge. And Putin, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of this lesson, and as you've seen in the beginning of this lesson, is not playing games. It seems like every couple of months he has to go on national TV and send out a warning that this is not a joke. He's not bluffing. If America continues to press him, he's going to take action. Okay? The people of Russia have already had nuclear drills as a country. okay, where they've been prepping their citizens for nuclear war and giving them the supplies they need in case of a nuclear outbreak. Meanwhile, what are we doing here in Babylon? Not jack shit. Okay? Just to show you that the leadership of this country doesn't care about the people here. Okay? Let's get Psalm 64. Psalm 64. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 64. 64 and 7. So yeah, Psalm 64. I can start at the top. This is a pretty good scripture. And it's not long. We'll read it. Psalms the 64th chapter. It says, David prays against a conspiracy. It says, hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Okay, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Okay, it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Okay, so this is that conglomerate, that tumult, that confederacy, okay, that the elite bankers have against the children of Israel. Okay, we are in constant oppression from the nation of Esau, Edom, and even during the time of King David, while we were in rulership, he's praying for the Lord to preserve him from their evil conspiracies. So how much more so now? Okay, when we are not in power, when we are in captivity. Okay. Verse 5, they encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Okay, and this is heavy, because this just isn't going into the elites that we know of out in England, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Oppenheimers. This is going into the Russians as well. Putin and all his affiliates in the Kremlin. They're also Edomites. Okay? It says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. This arrow that the Lord is going to shoot at them with is their own nuclear weapons. They're going to destroy themselves with their own blessing. Their blessing was the sword. Okay? It says, so, verse 8, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in Yahweh Shemashai and trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Okay? And we're going to glory in the return of Yahweh Shemashai, which is going to be a time of both destruction and deliverance. Okay? Let's get Psalm 7 and 13, since we're in the book of Psalms. Psalm 7 and 13. Actually, I'll begin at verse 9. Okay, and this headline reads, David prays for justice, as we likewise praise for justice against our enemies, our oppressors. This is Psalm 7 and 9. It says, oh, let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just, for the righteous Most High trieth the hearts and reins. My defense is of the Most High, which saveth the upright in heart. The Most High judgeth the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. Okay? If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. Okay? So the Most High, the weapons of his indignation are these nuclear weapons. And they're going to be commissioned by the Heavenly Father to be used. Okay? And we are living in the time where that's going to take place through the Spirit. Now I want to end this in 2nd Ezra chapter 16. 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha chapter 16. It says, beginning at verse 7, it says, may one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. Okay, so thinking about this in ancient terms, if you have an archer, strong archer, that draws that bow and fires that arrow, is it going to return back once it's fired? No. So how much more these nuclear missiles when they're fired from their silos, right? They're not going to return back to their place. They're going to continue onto their target and destroy, okay, who it was meant to destroy. Verse 8, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Okay, and fire goeth forth from his wrath, and who is he that might quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to power at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea arises up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, for his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Letting you know, once again, that these arrows are parabolic. Because what arrow or archer do you know that can be shot, that can go across the world? The arrows that this is talking about are the ICBMs, the intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay? It says, behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Okay? And us doing this work in truth and sincerity have faith that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai will deliver us. Just as the rain starts falling, like these missiles are going to fall on Babylon the Great. It's all spiritual. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I want to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. Until the next lesson, Shalom.